The Boopening.
Not the boobs. All over my nose.
Fluttershy was having a normal day like any other, relaxing after a long day of caring for animals and practicing being less cute in a mirror lest anyone thinks to her being a slut. It wasn't easy and very exhausting. But as she slipped her innocence-flavored tea, there was a knock at the door. Not expecting a visit, she went right over to the front door. Since she lived in a town with regular catastrophes and had friends prone to psychotic breakdowns for trivial reasons, she felt completely safe opening it without looking through the people first. Facing her at the door were three shadowy figures wearing cloaks and dark hoods over their faces. The one in front had blue wings poking through the back of the cloak and had a rainbow-colored tail. The cloak pinned in the front with an emblem of a rainbow lightning bolt. Their identity was a mystery though because of the hood. Who could it be? On the right of that mare or stallion was one with an orange flame-colored tail and yellow wings, hood tied with a flame pin, but likewise, Fluttershy had no way of knowing who it was. The last one had arctic blue wings with a white tail, and their cloak pin looking like a blue horseshoe with wings.
What do you want?
Fluttershy's voice quivered as she stepped back several paces, knowing that she should shut the door but was too stricken with fear to think clearly.
What are you doing here?
What am I doing?
The rainbow pony said.
I'm the pony we are about to boop.
Unfortunately, she couldn't identify the voice due to the hood. Fluttershy gasped at the vile language rushing to close the door, but she was too late. The white-maned pony stopped her, holding the door open as the rainbow one lifted a single hoof, stepping forward and drawing closer to Fluttershy's chaste nose.
No, please.
Fluttershy backed away further, tears rolling down her face.
Show mercy, I'm a virgin. I've never been booper-pated.
Your resistance will only increase the speed that we smush your snoot.
The flame pony laughed, holding out their hoof as well.
No!
Fluttershy shrieked like a hoarse siren on a crack binge, turning to gallop towards the back door of her cottage in hopes of escape. She wasn't fast enough. The rainbow pony was in front of her again, so fast that all Fluttershy saw was a streak of rainbow before she appeared in front of her. Oh, if only Rainbow Dash were here to stop this mystery Pegasus, she could chase this speedy winged pony away for sure. Left with no other choice, Fluttershy galloped upstairs. She dodged the grabbing hooves of two of her other swooping assailants as they attempted to molest her unsullied snoot, ducking beneath them and heading down the hall. She closed the door behind them, quietly so as to not be rude by making a loud noise, and locked it. Sobbing and confused, she pushed her dresser in front of the door to block entry. She was finally safe from their perversion. There was no way for the flying ponies to get to her on the second floor in a room with only one of the windows wide open. Against all expectations, the Rainbow Pegasus darted into the window, followed by the flame and horseshoe ones.
No!
Shrieked Fluttershy in abject terror.
How did you possibly penetrate my defenses?
Cornering Fluttershy away from her window or door, the rainbow pony lifted her hoof once again, pointing it at Fluttershy's pure and innocent nose. Fluttershy squeaked, covering her snoot with both hooves as she backed further into the corner.
Keep her concerned, Crash,
the flame pony said to the rainbow pony.
She wants to do things the hard way. Well, we'll do it the hard way.
She then turned to the other pony.
Flatfoot, get the brushy brush.
Are you sure, Swallowfire?
Stammered Flatfoot, unsure but obeyed. She pulled a gigantic bright pink toothbrush from beneath her cloak.
Okay, I didn't want to defile you like this, but you asked for it. No!
Fluttershy shrieked like a lolly trapped in an anime convention full of neckbeards as they revealed their lewd implement of torment.
Well, I know your names now, and I'll tell Mommy on you.
Ha!
Scoffed Crash.
We're just using nicknames. You have no idea what our true names are.
Curses.
Fluttershy waved her hoof into the air, weeping bitter tears of anguish. How would she ever identify her assailants? Were they destined to get away with her lasciviousness? Crash darted forward, tackling Fluttershy to the floor like a hobo that found a ham sandwich. She squeaked like a giant rubber duck as her attacker held her against the floor, and she struggled pathetically, defenseless as Swallowfire held her from the other side and cutely nommed her ear. The vicious perverts cuddled her close, rubbing their fluffy cheeks against her own from either side. If that wasn't bad enough, Crash reached a hoof to hold her own, and Fluttershy felt so filthy. Her stomach turned as Flatfoot pushed the brush to her head, grinning wickedly as she slowly brushed the ruffled mane back into place. It was all Fluttershy could do to resist vomiting, as these wicked strangers desecrated her floofy, soft mane.
That's it.
laughed Crash.
She looks so adora-cute.
No, I don't.
Fluttershy shook her head frantically.
Stop saying these obscene things.
Rub her belly.
Crash narrowed her eyes as she moved back to the front.
That'll teach her to talk back.
Fluttershy couldn't believe what she had just heard, but nothing could have prepared her for what Swallowfire followed the lecherous suggestion, reaching around her and stroking her gently from chest to belly button. The wicked pony leaned down, against her belly with a loud raspberry. The poor shy pony never imagined that she would be forced to commit such shameless taboos. Mind shattered from the horrible abuse, Fluttershy could only sob and scream like an epileptic banshee. When she got the nerve to open her eyes again, Crash was reaching a hoof towards her face. She shook her head, abject horror coursing through her, but couldn't move away, pinned by the giant toothbrush still stroking her mane.
Please no.
Fluttershy begged.
We can cuddle. You can brush my tail. We can even hug. Just please, don't do this.
Fluttershy looked at the hoof cross-eyed as it pressed against her nose. Terror filled her tormented soul, sending a chill through her body like something really cold. Since the author couldn't think of another really stupid metaphor, Crash's muzzle poked free of the hood, slowly opening.
No, don't say it.
Fluttershy pleaded.
I'm gonna say it.
Crash threatened.
Anything.
Fluttershy sobbed.
I'll do anything else. I just don't say it. I'm not on birth control. I don't want to get pregnant.
Say it.
Swallowfire said as she ruffled Fluttershy's belly.
Prove that you can be one of us. She has like 500 animals here anyway,
said Flatfoot as she moved from lewd mane brushing to perverse tail brushing.
It's not like any pony will notice if she has a foal or two.
No!
Fluttershy shrieked so loudly that the windows shook, but it was too late.
Boop.
Crash said as loudly as she could, and just like that, Fluttershy was forever ruined for marriage. She wailed, forever traumatized. She'd have to remember the unidentifiable strangers every time that she saw her boop foal.
Yes, more boops,
laughed Crash. Suddenly, all three of the entirely mysterious strangers were touching her nose one after the other. They took turns desecrating what little was left of her dignity, covering her in a boopake.
Boop, 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 boop.
Their echoing laughter would be with her poor traumatized soul forever. All too late, another pony crashed through the other, less open bedroom window like a friendship train into a wagon full of orphan filly guides. Their figure landed in the middle of the room like the most majestic of the pigeons, her horn lighting up with power of plot convenience. And it was Twilight.
What is going on here?
Twilight demanded, then gasped in horror as she realized what had happened.
No! I was too late.
She then turned to Crash.
Who are you? I demand to know!
If only you were here seconds earlier.
Sobbed Fluttershy.
They booped me, Twilight. They booped me so hard and now I'm pregnant.
Crap baskets.
Crash shrieked, turning to fly out and avoid their consequences of her heinous sin.
No way I'm paying full support. You'll never take me alive.
Swallowfire shouted, rushing at the open window but having less luck as she flew face first into the wall with a dull thud.
You realize the other window was open, right?
Flatfoot asked, Twilight matter-of-factly.
Why did you shatter the other one? Yeah, I could have teleported in also.
Twilight nodded.
But I usually forget I can do that. Ha, idiots.
Crash called back.
You can take the fall because I'm getting out of... Wait, why am I not moving?
She turned around to find Twilight's magic holding her tail. Twilight yanked the mystery evildoer back inside, pulling the three Boopists together and holding them with her telekinesis. Before she did anything, she pulled a blanket off of the bed, wrapping Fluttershy in it so she could sob in some dignity. Fluttershy eeped and pulled it around her, looking like the most adorable burrito as she peeked out of the open, hiding her impregnated nose in shame. Twilight, meanwhile, turned to the wicked perverts with an angry expression, worthy of 1,000 memes.
Well, it's time to solve this mystery,
Twilight said dramatically as she pulled back their hoods. Nothing could have prepared them for the shock of who the mystery boop criminals were. Twilight and Fluttershy gasped in surprise as the hoods came down. Rainbow Dash, Spitfire, and Fleetfoot. They would have never known.
Rainbow Dash?
Fluttershy cried.
How could you betray me? I thought we were completely platonic friends.
Well, it's not my fault,
Rainbow claimed.
The Wonderbolts are a bad influence. Yeah, we'll boop you too.
glared Spitfire.
Well, that won't be a problem anymore.
Twilight took a deep breath.
I'm sorry, but with the severity of this crime, you know my hooves are tied. I sentence you to having your feathers floofed, dismissed from the Wonderbolts, and placed on a boopist watch list. You must inform everyone in the neighborhood that you are a filthy nose booper and aren't allowed to have your hoof within leg's reach of a nose ever again. Wait, like our own noses too?
Asked Fleetfoot, quirking an eyebrow.
How would we brush our teeth or booper bait? Not your own noses.
Twilight rolled her eyes.
Now that would just be silly.